Hey everyone, this is Jason. Welcome back to my channel. So a couple of days ago I announced that they were going to allow everyone from Patreon, even the bronze tier, and all the pre-K people into the pre-alpha this last weekend here. And they did that. And so this is my video to recap this last pre-alpha session. It's week 9. And I'm doing a little bit different this week. I've got 2 videos side by side. I have a friend of mine who has a PC VR. I always record on Quest. That's all I have. And I'll give some commentary after the Q&A. There's some Q&A in the beginning here. And then I have a really special announcement for the highlight of the week. So stay tuned, everyone.
I'll just face a direction that looks kind of pretty, so let me just load up Orbis really quick. I'm just going to assume everybody laughed at that joke.
It took me a minute. That was good.
Oh, I made myself laugh. That's what matters.
That's right.
Slowly cry.
Okay, so Scardigne, I'm just going to keep saying it like that, and I hope it's incredibly wrong, asks, do you have plans for moving from Patreon to another service if Patreon goes under from the recent lawsuit? We're kind of, like, if Patreon went under right now with us being this close to Kickstarter, we'd probably just, eat it at that point, and just hope Kickstarter goes well and just keep moving forward at that point. What I've seen some other teams do is... Oh, I can't move with the keyboard. What I've seen some other teams do is just set up like basically a Patreon style thing on their own website. We could do that. I just feel like that's kind of, I don't know. It feels a little weird because there isn't anything legally holding us to anything at that point. You know what I mean? That's kind of the nice thing about Patreon. It's a little bit more official, but apparently not with their lawsuit.
Especially as we get closer to game release with and have like a website set up for account management and stuff like that could totally work for us. Just hopefully Patreon doesn't go out anytime soon because
the one who named Chaos asked, will there be something like a Persona housing / castle system? Or the instance replacement. We're doing housing in the game. It's going to be instance based. Hello. It's going to be instance based for housing and all the little personal buildings and stuff like that. Baba asks, hi Dev Team, will you add a small mini map like a heads up display in the top right of the VR headset? We don't really want any like UI that's like superimposed in your vision at all times. There will be a mini map. It's probably going to be more of a physical thing that you pull out or something like that. But we do plan on adding a mini map in as quickly as we can. Baba asks, hi Dev Team, can you please implement live speaking from NPC quest givers and such? So, because he says, with people with dyslexia, so reading and all that. That's what we'd like to do, but do keep in mind that we are, Americans, which means we only speak English and bad English. For us, we can do English into the game pretty easily. What's going to be difficult for us is adding native languages for other countries and users in other countries. So it's something we want to do. It's something that's just going to require a whole lot of work to get it done. So for the beginning, we'll probably have it when you walk up to an NPC, hi, and then like a dialogue box appears in the beginning, and then just as we go on, with the development of the game, we just started getting more, dialogue put in. See here really quick. Baba ask, hi Dev Team, I'm Danny. Baba, will we get to choose our first character name before release so we can get the pick of the bunch before retail buyers, or is it username shown instead of each character name like some other games that are out there? Still kind of trying to figure out exactly how we're going to do this. We were thinking about like something that's based off an account name. That way you can just have any name you want. But then what the game pays attention to is your actual account name. The only problem with that is it gets hard when 52 different people are named Ricky. So it's not, we're trying to think of a way to do that. And if we come up to the point where we're just going to have it be, unique usernames for each player character, then we can maybe try and get something where people in Kickstarter can, people in Kickstarter can reserve a name before the game launches. Gil asks, the Ranger in the original Dungeons & Dragons cartoon from the 1980s had a magical bow that had no string, but when you pulled it back, appeared a fire one drawing a fire arrow when pulled. Please, can we have a bow like this? I mean, to me, that stuff's cool as hell, but I'm not going to tell you guys what we've already made and already have planned just yet, but we've got some really cool stuff that's kind of along those lines already, so definitely you're going to love what we end up showing you guys. The one who named Chaos asked, this question might be a little too much yet since we're in pre-alpha only, but the classes are kind of dependent on the weapon. I get that. Will there be a talent system where you can put points into a passive/active skill when you want to choose what you want to go with, I guess is what it's saying. Like example, a warrior, present magician, or a summoner and a warlock, necromancer, etc., or it'll be a no class specific talents at all. Honestly, like that's our plan is like, trying to go with like this classless system, but obviously at some point we'll have to have talents and stuff put in something. On the team, we've discussed what we want to do, but we just really don't want to discuss it in public just yet. I am also learning that as I move my controller around, Discord thinks that the button presses are certain letters. So that's it for questions for the week. We can take everybody back off push to talk, and they can tell me how funny my jokes are.
So I assure you, we all laughed hysterically. So anyway, I really want to thank Team 21 Studio for constantly answering all our questions as best they can over the last year. Every time there's any kind of meetup, they've gone way out of their way to try to answer every question and to try to take into account all of our opinions and ideas. And from what I've heard from the team, it's amazing to them how much they've changed in the game from what their original ideas necessarily were, just based on comments and feedback. They're very, very receptive, and I appreciate that. So you can see here the Quest and PCVR side by side this whole time, and to be honest, I really like the Quest better. And it's not just because I'm used to the Quest. I don't think, even though there's shading on the PCVR right now, and some things may be a little more detailed, it just seems to me that the brightness and the coloring just seems a little bit fuller or richer on the Quest so far to me. And that might just be because it's obviously pre-alpha and maybe they haven't optimized PCVR in some ways or Quest in other ways. I know they're building this game for the Quest. They primarily are trying to make sure it's optimized for the Quest, because if they do that, then obviously PCVR is going to be fine. They have to kind of, go for the lowest common denominator. So this was a nice surprise here with the underwater cave. I actually didn't know about this until I was watching the PCVR video that my friend sent me. Thanks, Gil, by the way. And I was like, what? Okay, I got to go look at this. So I went back into the game and I started exploring and looked in the cave here. And you can see the comparison in the cave, obviously. But all right, so let's get off of this screen and talk about the highlight of the week.
Click on Zombie Apocalypse.
All right, so normally I would have a clip from the game of something I thought was really cool this week that was different. Things have changed constantly the last couple of weeks with all that's going on, getting ready for the Kickstarter. And speaking of the Kickstarter, I wanted to make a couple of really big announcements. So number one, the Kickstarter, if you didn't already know, is supposed to be starting in about a week, maybe 2 weeks, but they're going for a week from now. And that's super exciting for those of us who have been following this for quite a while. So the other huge piece of news is this coming Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, anybody, literally anybody that joins the Discord can get in on the action. You don't have to be a Patreon. You don't have to be a pre-K from way back in the day, but literally anybody that joins the Discord this coming Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, you can get in on the game for the pre-alpha. This is going to be probably the last pre-alpha before the Kickstarter. And I'd love to see a ton of people there. We didn't crash the server this last week, so let's try to do it this week. I think that'd be a lot of fun. And also, one more thing. The Kickstarter has they already had tiers. The tier Team 21 had tiers set up already, and they've allowed us in the forum on Discord to come up with our own ideas. So they set up a new couple of channels, and they're letting us present some of our ideas. So if you have something you'd like to see as a tier on the Kickstarter, and maybe an idea for how much that should cost, jump on the Discord and let them know. Like I said before, they're super open to anyone's ideas. Anyway, if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you wanna get notified. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, everyone. Have a good one.